Okay, so back to the fish room with a mission. We're going to do the really quick process, just give you a couple of walkthroughs tonight. So we just got new fish from a store up in the Twin Cities. So if you look closely there inside that bag, you can kind of see the corner jutting down over there. There's a couple of different varieties of fish of the molly variety. And outside of the bag are other mollies that are already in the tank ready to go. But here there are about 5 in that bag that are acclimating for 30 minutes, and then they'll be added to the rest of the tank here with the other fish. Over here on this side are some angelfish that'll eventually end up in this big 100-gallon tank, but for the time being, they're hanging out here in their own tank. Then I have a square container that I put that fish net over and collect the water from those bags, and then I pour the fish into those nets. And then I take those nets and I just put them into the water in the tank, let the fish out, and then I go to the next bag. What I found is that when you bring home fish from the store, the best thing to do is to have ice cream buckets that, that way you get some good tasting food as well at home, that are the square ones. And then once you have those square ones, you put the net on top of it. That way, if no one's around to help you hold the net, it kind of holds itself there in the bucket. And then you untie the bag. You can also use scissors to cut the bag a little bit quicker. And then you pinch the bag on one end, and then you let the water flow out of the other end. Again, this is the net method. You're letting them just flow in there. You never want to mix the water from your bag. See how they go upstream sometimes, and sometimes they get stuck in there. So you're going to make sure you got all your guys out when you go to get the bag out. Once you got them in your net, then you just take them into the new tank, and then you just drop them in and let them go. Now what I like to do is have the 2 there so that I can go right to the next one. So I turn it around the other way because you don't want the water to completely fill up over. And again, if you've got a set of scissors at home, you can do the scissors method where you just slice the bag with the scissors, and then you kind of got a little grab hold up here, a little bit stronger than what you had before. Pinch the corner, make sure you don't pinch a fish, and then go into your net. Now sometimes you'll spill like I do, and then you just want to get those guys in there. And then once they're in there, then you just go right into your tank, and that's how you bring again those new fish into the tank, and then you're good to go. They are ready for their new home. Now a lot of stores will double bag them, so you have to take off that second bag before you do that so your last bag doesn't get wet and water all over the place. You float them for about 30 minutes in the tank so that it's acclimated, so that the temperature inside the bag matches the temperature that's in the actual tank. So that's what you do when you bring home the new fish. Also, if you're just starting up a tank and it's the first time, you got to make sure that you have good bacteria in there. So that's why we've got the filter that's hanging on the back there. Soon I'm going to move to canister filters on all my tanks. But the hang on the back filter has the good bacteria in the filter batting. It will allow for the fish to live inside of the tanks in a healthy environment. And if you don't have something like that on your tank and you're just starting it up, brand new filter, then you want to add stability into your tank. It is a chemical bacteria that you can include in the tanks that helps when you're starting up the tanks. Hopefully this will help you learn a little bit about the fishing process as you bring home the fish and add them to your tanks.